And so it was said that if the pillars of the world shall fall, darkness will descend upon all that lives. From the Book of the Dark. Man did not heed this warning. The sacred cosmic tree burned to cinder. And so the darkness came, claiming all that was bright and living in Thea. When all hope was lost, after a century without light, the sun rose once more. Thea awakened from her dark slumber, and you along with her. But Thea is not the world that once was. The age of darkness weakens, but it is far from over. Life took its shy roots, yet death will not release its grip easily. While the sun keeps some of the evil in check during the fleeting days, at night, the creatures of darkness roam free and angry, unwilling to give up their dominion over the land. It is up to you to find a way to rebuild Thea, banish the darkness, and strengthen mankind.
Thea is awakened. Welcome. No time to waste. You are a deity of the High Pantheon, and you must help your worshippers survive the darkness. So what now, you ask? You are divine, yes, but you have little power, and so you will know the world through your people's eyes. This means sometimes you will encounter your own divine messengers, and maybe even face your own avatars. Weird, I know. Your first mission is to survive. Every critter is trying to make sure you stay down. So get food and craft better equipment to protect yourselves. You will guide your people to victory, either by sheer survival and progress, or by solving the cosmic tree's mystery. I am but a messenger. Theodore, you can call me, but let us focus on you. Thea is a broken land. The underworld is shut, and the undead roam the earth, and creatures of darkness that ruled for a century want you dead. First, go and explore your village. Check the inventory to see your stocks, and set people to gather food and fuel, like wood. Without food, people will starve, and without fuel, they will not craft or even heal, so these are really important. Yes, once you've visited your village, check out the people standing outside, the exploring party. Select your party and send them to me. I will wait for your people outside the village. I have marked your people's map with a big blue question mark so they will see where I am. Oh, and if you ever forget what your current task is, just check out your logbook. door welcomes you. Well, hello there. I see you're finding your feet and making first steps into the world. Well done. Events such as meeting me will occur throughout your adventures. Sometimes they are random, sometimes predestined, and always varied. Events can occur when you're out exploring, but also globally, or within your village. So remember, leaving your settlement unattended may be dangerous. Many events will ask you to bring stuff or do things in order to move to the next stage. I asked you before to gather food and fuel in your village. So you can gather resources in your village, but also by setting up a camp when you're out exploring. To set up camp, stand on an empty hex and choose the tent icon from the mini HUD. Good. Now events can lead to conversations or just random disasters, but they can also lead to challenges. To show you what I mean, track down a pack of boars nearby, marked by a blue question mark, and bring me back their bones. You find the boars Theodore told you about. There is only a couple, so it should not be too hard. However, instead of a straight fight, you can try to do a proper hunt. If you have the right skills, that is. Or better yet, you can go all native on these beasties and wrestle them to the ground. Not an easy option, that one. Great. You have the right skill, in this case gathering, to enter into an alternate challenge. In non-fight challenges, the wounds you get during the challenge do not carry over after it finishes, meaning you have less of a risk of dying. doors like a pro and caught them unaware. Your loot may not be as plentiful as a straight fight, but you did not risk getting wounds, so your people will not have the danger of dying now. Theodore welcomes you. Well, hello there. I see you're finding your feet and making first steps into the world. Well done. Wonderful. Well done. And keep your resources. They may come in handy on a rainy day, you know. As you saw, you got both experience points and research points, on top of any material rewards. All of these will help you grow stronger. So, you've discovered that some events will let you solve a situation through more than combat. These non-combat challenges are often just as hard, but it means that fighting is not the only way. Remember, wounds from combat challenges can kill your people even after the fight, so choosing a different path is often safer. And having a medic in your party will help decrease the chances of dying as well. Anyway, great job on the boars. Practice makes perfect, you know. So now that the boars are done for, let's practice one more challenge type. Social encounters. I spotted a fellow demon called Hurlik, and I want you to convince him to give you some gold. When you have it, bring it back here. You find the Hurlik Theodore spoke of. He sits on a rock and stares at you with his large yellow eyes. What do you want? You looking for trouble? 'Cause I can get you some. He clenches his tiny fists at you. Little? Who are you calling little, you overgrown pile of softy fish bags, you? The creature huffs and puffs at you, shaking its fists violently. Sir, don't you see that I am a woman? Ah, but a compliment, you say? Well, I suppose being little is way better than being big. So you're kind of clever to call each other little, even though you're clearly vertically challenged. So, what's your business here? All right. Theodore is clearly up to his old tricks. Sending you here for his gold. Here you go, and tell him to come himself next time. Theodore welcomes you. Well, hello there. I see you're finding your feet and making first steps into the world. Well done. Oh, good, you got the gold. That wretched woman owes me, but I have no desire to speak to her. Anyway, it's a matter of principles rather than the gold itself, so just keep it. You may need it to craft better stuff, you know. In social challenges, as you saw, you will face your opponent, but different skill sets become relevant, such as speech, attractiveness, and will. So just remember, different challenges use different skills. And so your party composition can have a great impact on the way you explore the world. As you perhaps noticed, you got research points as well as XP. You need research points to discover new materials and recipes for crafting and new buildings for your village. Now, you will notice that some equipment as well as buildings in your village require a lot of stuff, often things that are not easily gathered or commonly found. For such needs, I also recommend scouring the world map in search of old ruins, abandoned tunnels, ancient towers. You get the gist, right? It so happens that I know of an old dungeon that you could explore and loot. I have marked this place on your map. Well, yes, I have a second task for you to do at any time you're ready. Craft me 10 cooked, baked, or roasted food, any type. You may want to research some varieties as well to match your supplies. Also, leave these 10 crafted foods in the village until I show up. You don't have to rush with this one. Take your time and get to grips with managing your settlement. Remember to check the magical help button to read more. Yeah, I know, more about any mechanics. old dwarf passes by your village, stopping only for a drink and a chat if you're willing. You share a drink and some stories. As thanks, the dwarf tells you of an old mine he knows. He marks the location on your map. He marks a route for a gold mine. Enter an underground complex that turns out to be some old, long-forgotten dungeon. You're not sure what used to be the purpose of these dungeons, but they seem large. Inside, there are two main tunnels leading deeper into the complex. You take the left turn and go down a long, winding corridor with empty alcoves spread about in equal spaces, each alcove hiding a potential doorway to explore. You enter one such opening and you arrive in a dusty old library. Many of the scrolls and even the leather-bound tomes are rotten to the core. But if you're careful, you may salvage some. It will take a lot of finesse and intellect to do right. books were just too rotten to salvage anything at all, so instead you gather up some spider webs. You can't leave here empty-handed.